What if the people who are supposed to lead you spiritually are using their power to take advantage of you? In many churches, a hidden truth often goes unnoticed. Some leaders twist their role for personal gain. These leaders manipulate members, using their positions to control money, social status, and influence. They play on your beliefs and trust, turning faith into a tool for their own benefit. What starts as a place of worship becomes a platform for personal power, where your kindness is taken advantage of. How do they do it? The truth might shock you. Stay tuned as we reveal the manipulative habits some Christian narcissists display and how they use faith to serve themselves instead of their congregation. Christian narcissists use their position in the church to stop others from questioning or criticizing them. They often say things like, "God has chosen me for this role," or "You are not just disagreeing with me, you are disagreeing with God's plan." This makes it very hard for people to challenge them because it feels like questioning them is the same as questioning God. When someone points out their mistakes or tries to speak up, they twist the Bible to make themselves seem right. For example, they might say, "If you don't agree with me, you are going against God's will." This makes the person feel guilty, as if they are doing something wrong just for having a different opinion. By doing this, the narcissist can control the situation and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. They also use guilt and fear to silence people. If someone tries to question them, the narcissist might say things like, "You are not being a good Christian," or "You should not question your leaders." This makes the person feel like they are doing something sinful by speaking up, even if their concerns are valid. Over time, people may stop voicing their thoughts because they fear being judged or shamed. In some cases, the narcissist might isolate the person who speaks out. They may tell others in the church that the person is causing problems or has bad intentions. This makes it easier for the narcissist to control the group because people become afraid to speak out against them. They might even say, "That person is troubled," or "They are not following God's path." And this makes the rest of the group less likely to trust the person raising concerns. This behavior helps the narcissist keep control over others in the church. By using their spiritual position, they make it difficult for anyone to challenge them. They create an environment where people are afraid to speak up or question anything they do. The narcissist can keep their power without worrying about anyone holding them accountable. They continue to look like a perfect leader, even if they are wrong, because they have used their spiritual authority to silence anyone who might criticize them. This creates a toxic environment where the narcissist gets all the power, and others are too scared to speak out. The church, instead of being a place of open discussion and support, becomes a place where only the narcissist's voice is heard. Some Christian narcissists use church positions to gain control over others. They seek roles like pastor, elder, or leader, not because they want to serve, but because they want power. These positions give them respect and trust from the congregation, which they use for personal gain rather than for helping others. They may act like they're teaching about God, but in reality, they often point out the flaws of others while ignoring their own. They use guilt and fear to control the people in their church, making it easier to manipulate them into following their wishes. For example, they might preach sermons that make people feel they are not good enough, pushing them to act in ways that benefit the narcissist. These individuals may demand special treatment because of their role in the church. They expect others to admire them and follow their commands without question. In church meetings or group discussions, they often speak as if their opinion is the only correct one, discouraging anyone from disagreeing. They might claim that their views are God-given, making it hard for anyone to challenge them without feeling guilty. They use Bible verses to support their control over others, twisting the message to make themselves appear more powerful and righteous. Narcissistic church leaders may also use their position for personal gain, asking for large donations or special favors from their followers. They may tell their congregation that these donations are needed for their own benefit. This can be an easy way for them to gain wealth and status, while keeping others in the dark about their true intentions. They form close relationships only with people who support them and their control. Those who question their authority or actions may be shunned or made to feel unimportant. This makes it difficult for people to speak out against them, as they fear being excluded or judged. By isolating those who challenge them, narcissistic leaders keep their power intact. At the same time, they may appear charming and loving to the outside world. This makes it harder for others to see their true motives. They carefully maintain an image of being righteous, making it easy for them to manipulate others into trusting them. Christian narcissists often care more about getting praise in public than actually helping others. They like to be seen as good people, but their actions are not always genuine. Instead of serving others out of love or kindness, they want to be noticed for their actions. In church, they may take on roles where they can be in the spotlight, such as leading prayers or giving speeches. However, their real goal is not to help, but to receive recognition. They want people to see what they're doing and praise them for it. Their actions are often done with the hope of getting compliments or applause. For example, they might remind others about all the things they've done, expecting praise in return. This focus on being admired means they care more about their image than the true well-being of others. If people do not give them the praise they expect, they may feel upset or even use guilt to make others notice them. They might say things like, "I've been doing so much, but no one appreciates me," to get attention. In relationships, this need for praise can be harmful. They may only help others when it gets them recognition or benefits their image. If an act of kindness does not bring attention, they might ignore it or refuse to do it. Their actions are based on self-interest rather than true care for others. Christian narcissists expect total loyalty from others, wanting people to follow them without asking questions. They use their position in the church to make others think they are always right and should be obeyed. They may claim that challenging them is wrong or against God's will, making their followers feel guilty or even scared to disagree with them. This creates an environment where people feel like they must support the narcissist, no matter what, even if the actions are wrong. While they expect loyalty, these narcissists do not show the same behavior in return. They avoid taking responsibility for their mistakes. If something goes wrong or they make a mistake, they will not admit it. Instead, they may blame others or say that people are misunderstanding them. For example, if someone points out their wrong actions, they might accuse the person of attacking them or say they're doing God's work. This makes it hard for anyone to hold them accountable for their behavior. This lack of accountability can be dangerous because the narcissist keeps their power and control over others. They use their position in the church to avoid being corrected. They can act however they want without facing the consequences that others would. This may lead to them making selfish decisions that hurt others, knowing they won't be questioned. Their followers may be afraid to challenge them, believing it would be wrong to question a leader, or that they would be seen as unfaithful. Followers may feel stuck because they want to respect their church leader, but see them acting in a way that doesn't seem right. However, because the narcissist has made loyalty a top priority, people may not know how to speak up. They are often manipulated into staying silent, believing that any criticism would be disobedient or disrespectful. The narcissist uses this to stay in control without having to face the truth of their actions. The narcissists manipulate church members for money and social benefits by using their leadership roles to control others. They may ask for large donations, telling members that it's a way to gain God's blessings. By doing this, they make people believe that giving money to the church will make them closer to God. The narcissist takes advantage of this belief to get what they want. And these leaders often expect members to do things for them, such as running errands or taking care of their personal needs. They disguise these requests as acts of service for the church, but the real goal is to use others to fulfill their own desires. They can make people feel guilty if they don't help, even though the requests are selfish. Narcissistic leaders also use their position to gain social status. They surround themselves with important people in the church, hoping to improve their own reputation. They may treat members differently based on their social status, giving more attention to those who can help them advance. In some cases, these leaders convince people that they must contribute to the church to be valued. This creates a false sense of importance and encourages people to give more, whether it's money, time, or effort. They use these tactics to make the church a place where personal gain is more important than true spiritual growth. Overall, Christian narcissists turn their roles into opportunities for personal gain, manipulating the trust and kindness of others to build their own power and wealth.